Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto News. Today we're going to be talking about the HeatherTucci case, what exactly is going on, the updates that are happening as of August 2nd, 2017, and we have unsealed court documents that we want to provide to you guys, being the arrest warrant, and various other documents too that we have for you that have been submitted in the last day today. So as far as yesterday and today, more documents are being provided for the case. Now, if you guys can, I urge everybody that can make it out to Washington, D.C. on August 4th, 2017 to show support for HeatherTucci. Also to get a good idea of what exactly is happening live time, real time at the courtroom. If you want, the courtroom address is 333 Constitution Avenue, Washington, D.C. 2003. Starts at 10 a.m. Courtroom number 4, second floor. Case number 117MJ-531. The hearing type is for identity. The magistrate judge is Deborah Robinson. David Boss is the appointed defense attorney. Now, let's get into these documents and exactly have a good idea of what is going on. Now, like I said, these were sealed before and now it's been unsealed. So to get started, this is the history. So this is the case history. You can see here the defendant, HeatherTucci, who it's been assigned to as far as the judge. The case title, USA vs. Tucci Jarv. Date 7/26/2017. Represented by David Walker Boss, federal public defender. And it shows here there's no pending counts. There's no highest offense level. The counts terminated have been none. Highest level offense, none. Complaints, arrest warrant removal indictment. Plaintiff is the USA, represented by Lisa N. Walters, U.S. Attorney's Office, which is very interesting, which I don't really understand, to be honest, is this person is very familiar with violent crimes, and this is not a violent crime. Also very familiar with narcotics. This is not anything to do with drugs or narcotics, and very familiar with trafficking, and this has nothing to do with human drug trafficking or any kind of trafficking whatsoever. So that's interesting to note that. Continuing on here, though, the case information as far as the history follows. On July 26, 2017, arrest Rule 40 of HeatherTucci on arrest warrant issued by USDC for the Eastern District of Tennessee, executed on July 26, 2017, entered July 27, 2017. Continuing on July 26th, arrest warrant returned, executed on July 26th. July 26th. Continuing on, oral motion for release from custody, identity hearing. And then on July 26th, minute entry for proceeding held before Magistrate Judge Deborah A. Robinson. Initial appearance in Rule 5, proceedings as to HeatherTucci. Held on July 26, 2017, oral motion to appoint counsel by HeatherTucci, heard and granted. Oral motion by the government to detain HeatherTucci, pending appearance in Eastern District of Tennessee, heard and granted. Oral motion for release from custody, HeatherTucci, heard and denied. Oral motion for Rule 5, identity hearing, HeatherTucci, heard and granted. Rule 5, identity hearing set for July 31st, 2017 at 2 p.m. in Courtroom 4 before Magistrate Judge Deborah A. Robinson. Bond status of defendant. Defendant commitment issued. Court reporter FTR. Gold FTR time frame. Okay, so continuing on here. On July 31st, oral motion to unseal case and continue identity hearing by HeatherTucci. Minute entry for proceedings held before Magistrate Judge Deborah A. Robinson. Status hearing as to HeatherTucci Jarv held on July 31st, 2017. Oral motion to unseal case by Heather, heard and granted. Without objection from the government, oral motion to continue identity hearing for reasons set forth on record by Heather. Heard and granted. Identity hearing continued to August 4th, 2017 at 10 a.m. in courtroom number 4 before Magistrate Judge Deborah A. Robinson. Bod status of defendant. Defendant committed. Commitment issued. Now, continuing on here, July 31st, case unsealed as to Heather and Tucci Jarv, pursuant to minute order filed July 31st, 2017. And now, August 1st, 2017, minute order as to Heather Ann Tucci Jarv. On July 31st, 2017, the clerk of court received approximately 40 documents for filing in this matter. Further consideration of the request for filing is hereby stayed pending review of said documents by counsel of record for the defendant. The documents will remain available in chambers for review by counsel of record for defendant. Signed by Magistrate Judge Deborah A. Robinson on August 1st, 2017. And now on August 2nd, 2017, notice of filing by Heather Ann Tucci Jarv, attachments 1, appendix part 1, number 2, appendix part 2, boss David, entered August 2nd, 2017. And let's go ahead and, first of all, let's go and look at the arrest warrant that was issued. So that is, let's see, this one here. So you can see here that this was sealed. Apparently the reason why the arrest warrant was sealed is they had felt that if Heather Ann Tucci or Randall Keith Bean had became aware of the arrest warrants, that they would have become a flight risk, which probably isn't true. And needless to say, the judge that issued the arrest warrant agreed to that. And they also said that once the defendants had been in custody, that the cases could be unsealed. So when Heather Ann Tucci requested for the case to be unsealed, supposedly the plaintiffs had no objection to that because that was in turn their end goal regardless. So continuing on down here, though, it says it was assigned to the magistrate judge, date assigned, arrest warrant rule number 40. And it says, to any authorized law officers, you are commanded to arrest and bring before United States Magistrate Judge without unnecessary delay Heather Ann Tucci Jarv, who is accused of an offense or violation based on the following document filed with the court. Indictment. This offense is briefly described as follows. The defendant did unlawfully and knowingly combine, conspire, confederate, and agree with each other and other persons, known and unknown, to the grand jury to commit money laundering in violation of Title 18 United States Code, Section 1956 and 1957. Okay, so it shows here the issuing officer's signature and his name. So there's the arrest warrant that was sealed and has now been unsealed. And then we've already went over the indictment as far as what the charges were, how everything took place, exactly what is going on. You guys can reference that in another video and continue on here to the annexes. And this is the new thing that has been now submitted to the court. As you guys can see here, has been filed August 2nd, 2017. And this is showing the identity of Heather Ann Tucci. And also, too, it should, reduce every charge possible, and it should be no charges, case should be dismissed based on all of these documents. So it is very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen on August 4th, and that's why I'm urging everybody to make it out August 4th, because there's now news of this case going international and other things that are very, very interesting regarding this, and that's what I'm going to get to. We're going to have NeilWolf do a little speech and talk about what's happening with this case. But I wanted to give you guys just a little review of everything here. So there's a lot of different UCC record numbers, and all of these records are actually attached inside of this document. I'm going to attach the PDF to where you guys can actually view this document. You can see here this is the original due declaration of notice, the factualized trust. Reference name is Heather Ann Tucci Jarv. All of the information is here, been verified, notarized. So it's very, very interesting to see what exactly is going to happen because, all of these documents were done properly and appropriately. And, come August 4th, we should find out more information. And here you guys can see that some of these UCC records here that have been attached. And exactly here, the entry of debtor, pretty much it goes into detail. It has certain things that are references where the birth certificate, the different people, the records, and I definitely urge all of you guys to read these documents because I believe that they're very, very important and valid to Heather's case and what's going to happen in the next coming days. So that's that, and then continues on here. There's a lot of pages. So this one's 130, and this one's 156 pages, and then here's the notice of filing. United States of America versus HeatherTucci Jeriff. The defendant through counsel, Assistant Federal Defender David Boss, hereby files the attached materials in connection with the identity hearing presently scheduled for August 4th, 2017 at 10 a.m. And it's been accepted. And so let's continue now to hearing what Neil has to say, NeilWolf. And he's been following this case as well, and I show him a lot of respect for what he's been doing. And again, I want to urge you guys to make it out to HeatherTucci's court hearing on August 4th, 2017 at the U.S. District Court in Washington, D.C. Address is 333 Constitution Avenue, Washington, D.C. 2003. Time is at 10 a.m. Courtroom number 4, the second floor. Be sure you have a government-issued ID because there is a requirement to actually enter the building. So now let's go off to NeilWolf and let's see what he has to say.
I've been contacted by Heather's team, and apparently I can't clearly define this for you at this time, but I think I will be able to later today. This case has gone international, so apparently there's some international influence coming in now. I'm going to read you, for those of you not privy to the update page, which is BZ's blog. I'm going to read you what is on there right now as the latest update as of the 2nd. That's today. And this is from a phone call from Bill with Heather Ann. And it says, just got a call from Heather Ann. This is now a political case. The only way to deal with a political case is to immediately release all data as it comes in, including Lisa's most recent data from PJ. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm sure some of you do, and I'm sure we'll find out later. Just learned from that Heather was arrested and taken through the White House and back out the other end by those purporting to be Secret Service, yet wore none of the 3 badges. This is weird stuff, right, folks? She was handed over to the D.C. police when she was taken to Division 1 for booking. And I remember when this arrest first went down, I was reporting that I thought it was Secret Service. That's what I was hearing. And then it turned into FBI, but it looks like it was Secret Service or somebody pretending to be Secret Service or somebody with some sort of security credentials that had access to the White House. She said D.C. police were very nice to her. She spent 2 days before she knew exactly where she was. She laughingly referenced Brian Kelly's post about the Mayan 2 days of no time, as it coincided with her 2 days of not knowing what time it was or even what she was arrested for. Trump was not the instigator of this, by the way. She said she's going in and releasing all from harm, and somebody asked, is that a legal term? I think maybe it is. Randall and anyone else to Parker Hill FBI is doing, and will also release him from harm for what he unwittingly let loose. She's referencing Parker Hill. Which I got to tell you, from that courtroom, I'm really good at reading energies. And I got to tell you, I was in close proximity to both those FBI guys, including Parker Hill. And I can tell you, he did not want to be there. He did not want to be there. I think he was starting to realize the can of worms that he has opened up or had been directed to open up. So anyway, then Heather also said that it's time for the military to deal with the bad apples. Okay, now I'm one that has believed for quite some time that there needs to come a moment when I'm going to call them the white hats within our government unite and arrest the deep states. They're also the Luciferians, and I don't want to get too deep into that here, but the bad eggs, the corrupted bad eggs, just like Heather said. And you know, hopefully this event is also pulling the trigger on that, because these are some very nefarious beings. So Heather also said it's time for the military to deal with the bad apples and remove them from control positions. Reassignment is an adequate response to the bad apples. And Denise says, perhaps this is why General Kelly is in the West Wing. And that is, I don't know if I said that on Periscope. I think I did. I addressed it somewhere in one of my news articles or something, that I saw General Kelly coming from DHS. Now, why Kelly, it's so important that he was sent to DHS is because he had to clean house from the deep state scumbags who are running cover for the Luciferian pedophiles, who are also the banksters, they're all wrapped up in this thing, okay? Luciferianism is their religion. It's the religion of the banksters. Kelly was at DHS to get the child trafficking and start the arrests on that, which has been huge this year. We've seen like 4,000 of them. Some unprecedented busts that did not make the press, of course, the mainstream media. And so he's got his people in place at DHS, and they're still tracking all the child traffickers and pedophiles. They're probably, out of the 4,000 that they have arrested, they're probably singing like songbirds, and they probably have evidence stacked against the elites who have participated in this, who I'm going to call the deep state Luciferians, because that's exactly what they are. Now Kelly is in the White House, because I think everything's going to the next phase now. These revelations with what Heather's exposing, with Kelly going into the White House, he's cracking the whip. Trump has apparently given him, unprecedented power in regards to his administration, where even his daughter and son-in-law report to him. So I really think this is John Kelly. I have known this from the start. I have followed him for a while, and I was looking closely at this guy when Trump was choosing up his administration. I was a little disappointed that he didn't go to a higher cabinet level like state or something like that, or chief of staff or national security advisor. But I see now why he went to DHS. I understand that now, and it makes all the sense in the world. This case has gone international, okay? So there's some sort of international entity. There is a 14-nation alliance that is working with the White Hats within our military and intelligence apparatus. And I would imagine that international influence is probably that 14-nation alliance, which includes Russia, China, India, Brazil, and some other powerful countries who have united in the effort with our white hats within our government to take out this Luciferian criminal government once and for all, and to restore this republic. So that's what I believe it means by going international. Is these people are now, they're seeing the importance of this case, and they're probably getting involved in it. That this is the judicial and financial case of the century right here. And get on there on your social media and say that. Give people a link to it. Give people a link to this video and to my prior videos. Tell them to go back prior, and they're going to have to do a little research to get up to speed. But it's that important. So stay tuned. It looks like things are going international. Heather's calling for the involvement of the White Hat, the military, to what I believe is going to be a restoration of the republic that's long overdue, to our true constitutional republic, our organic constitutional republic. If you follow BRICS and oh gosh, what's the other institution? If you follow international finance, this alliance of 14 nations is also involved in creating, and has been over, AAIB as the second entity, has been involved in creating financial alternatives to Western central banking, Rothschild banking, Federal Reserve, IMF, those criminals. Now, not to say that their alternatives are perfect, because they're not. Because I think it's kind of a struggle where they want to actually now transfer control of global finances to the East, whereas I'm not really going along with that program 100% either, because I think it's more of the same thing, just a new boss, you know. So anyway, I think this alliance of nations, when we say international, is now more closely working with the military white hats regarding this case specifically. Hopefully they see the magnitude of this. I don't know if Zero Hedge covers this. They should be. I mean, he should be. But you know, I've put this out there on the forums that I cover, and it is amazing how few people get the magnitude of this case. You know, I'm getting very little likes and shares and follows and stuff on this. I'm going to do something I don't like to do, and I'm going to go on Facebook. I used to have a pretty big presence on there in a lot of different groups. Anyway, Heather has told her team, and they wanted me to get this out there. Number one, we want a lot of people there Friday, August the 4th, 10 o'clock. Get the word out, please, folks, especially if you live within an hour or two drive, which millions of people do, of D.C. You got to take the day off work. You got to be here, okay? This is a game changer. This is a game-changing event. You're going to look back later in life and be grateful that you made that decision to come here. But this has gone international, according to Heather, and I don't have any other details at this point. Will it be on the news? No, nothing real is on the news, guys. This is the news, okay? You are the news. They are not going to cover this in the mainstream media, okay? When they do cover it in the mainstream media, then you know that the restoration of the constitutional republic, financial reset, and all kinds of other things are underway. But I wouldn't count on that. So anyway, we got to get the word out on this thing. The hearing's on Friday. We need a lot of people there. This thing has gone international. I believe it involves the 14-nation alliance that is allied with the white hats within our military and intelligence, which I think John Kelly and Mad Dog Maddox are right on top of that. That is why those guys, they were white hats in the military and to be trusted, okay? That is why they're in the positions they are now. Secretary of Defense, Chief of Staff, okay? Two of the most important positions. That's why they're there. They were white hat generals. They're loyal to the constitutional republic. I believe that those men are loyal to humanity. I feel it in my heart. I have since both of those guys, you know, there were discussions of them joining Trump's cabinet and being appointed. So, again, with Kelly moving to the White House Chief of Staff, I think things have gone to another level now. And with Heather's message this morning, I think that may well be the case. So we're going to see some exciting things. So let's get the word out there. I'm going to shut this video off now. Get the word out there, and I'll keep you guys posted. That her team is feeding me stuff as soon as they get it. I love you guys, too. Over and out. Thanks. Spread it around. Bye.